Bread is very simple. Actually, there's only 4 key ingredients to bread. What we only need is flour, yeast to help it raise, salt for a little bit of flavour, but what the salt also does is puts the brake on for the yeast, so it stops it over developing. So if you think about yeast as an accelerator, salt is a brake. The first thing we need is flour, 500 grams. This is going to make one nice small loaf. So we're going to go in with 500 grams of flour, 8 grams salt next. If you notice, I've put that on one side of the bowl, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the yeast in, but on the other side of the bowl. If we put them together straight away, the salt will already start breaking down the yeast and putting the brake on. So my salt's this side, yeast 10 grams. The only other ingredient we need is water, around room temperature, and we're going to go straight in. So we're just going to bring that together in the bowl first. Now, the common thing will happen here is you'll either feel it's too wet or too dry. A lot of people get to this stage and go, it's far too wet, I'm going to add more flour. It's very important that you don't. So we're at that stage now. We need to give it about 5 minutes worth of kneading now. And then what we're going to do is just a little bit of this oil. This one is just a very simple rapeseed oil. That's just going to stop it sticking. So to knead it, I'm stretching and I'm pulling. So we're starting to activate the yeast, but we're also building that gluten network. So you see it's still quite rough on the surface. So we're going to get that to a nice smooth finish. So it's important to remember that we have what we call the face on our bread, and underneath is the scar. So when we put this in our bowl, we always have the face up and the scar down. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to tighten this ball a little bit. So what I'm doing here is now I'm forcing the yeast to work harder against the surface. That's going to give me a better rise. I'm going to place it into the bowl, light bit of oil in there, and then I'm going to cover that, and we're going to rest that for around an hour, but until it's doubled in size. Knocking back, this is called. So it's important again that we stay with the face on the top and the scar underneath. So what we're doing is we're going to push out some of the carbon dioxide. I'm going to turn it onto its face so I can see the scar, and I'm going to do bringing it in like this. Then I'm going to turn it back onto its scar with its face up, and this is where this could come in handy. You can start to shape it. Now it's up to you what shape you do now. I'm going to go for a round, but you see how I'm tightening it again. I want that nice tight surface, but this is where you could over tighten it, and what you'll start to see is air bubbles will start to break through the surface. So what that will give you is what they call the baker's cavern. So when you bake it, the top bit comes up because there's too much air there, and then your bread's here, and then you've got this crust. So when you cut into it, you get that big gap. I actually prefer to use my hands for this because you can feel it. Then I'm going to carefully pick that up. I'm going to cling film the tray loosely because I want this to develop again and grow for our next hour, and then we'll finish it off in the oven. These are going in the oven now, but I just like to do one really quick cut like that. What that's going to do is allow some of that heat in and some of that steam out. That's ready to go straight in the oven. That is the basic white loaf. You can change that, you can add the things that we talked about, flavourings, seeds, cheese, whatever. Let me know how they taste tomorrow.